Let's see. And we are streaming live. Hello, LinkedIn community. We are getting started with our Zoom group and our LinkedIn community going live today with our Living All Out Summit. I am so excited. We're going to get rocking and rolling because we have got a jam-packed calendar today. So if you're wondering and like, what did I sign myself up for today? What is this? You guys, we are in the midst of a summit today. And the focus topic is discover what's shaping the future of modern entrepreneurship. That is what we're going to be talking about today. And I have got some incredible presenters today from our exclusive year-long Burnout to All Out Elevate 360 Mastermind Retainer, where our clients are really focused on business growth, but also personal growth and fulfillment, because bodies build businesses, right? If you're here curious about modern entrepreneurship and this Burnout to All Out community in this book, that is what it's all about. These guys that you're going to hear from today, they embody our brand of living all out, where we don't subscribe to sacrificing health, personal relationships, or personal fulfillment to achieve success, right? But rather we subscribe to the pursuit of the modern entrepreneur is actually quite the opposite, right? We subscribe to the idea that we are entrepreneurs because it gives us the autonomy to make health, relationships, and personal fulfillment first and foremost in this lifetime, right? So while we're building a legacy of wealth and making an impact on this world. And so I am so excited for you guys to hear from these ladies, these men who are paving the way as an example of what living all out is truly about. These guys put their hearts and souls into sharing with you in their chapters, really their own stories of living all out, right? And what it means to them. And for that, in today's summit, where are we headed? We have categorized our speakers into 3 different areas that they're going to speak to today. And you'll see it kind of flows really nicely with their chapter topics in the book. We're going to be focused first and foremost around business leadership. It is a business mastermind, right? And then some of our speakers are going to dive into lifestyle optimization. And then on the back third of our summit today, we're really going to be talking about CEO family management. So as you can see, it is a full circle. It kind of encompasses the Elevate 360. The reason our mastermind is called 360 is because it's a 360-degree approach to life and business, right? Need some effective tactical advice that actually helps you get results and makes a real difference in your life and business? You've come to the right place. If you're finding yourself here today, it means you're getting ready to gain serious traction in your business, rapidly multiply your income and impact, and you're ready to make it happen while living all out. Guys, I'm Melissa Hinault, your trustworthy corporate dropout turned 6-figure business burnout turned happy and healthy CEO of a multi-million-dollar online business. And you're listening to the Burnout to All Out podcast. On this show, we're serving up innovative growth strategies, simple implementation methods to put them into practice, and action-stimulating inspiration tailored specifically for the modern entrepreneur. Let's dive in. I am excited to go ahead and turn it over to our first MC. You guys are also going to get a chance to meet our team Burnout to All Out, our leadership team. Jackie Denowit is our Chief Integrative Officer, and she is going to MC us for the first half of our summit around business leadership. So Jackie, I am going to turn it over to you.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to kick this off with Sarah Davenport, who, I'm going to read your bio, but I'm going to say you're a rock star. Like, Sarah is a complete rock star. Like, I give her things to run with, and she's just like, bam, bam, bam. Tell me what's next. Let me go. And it's a pleasure having you today, and I'm so proud of you. So with that, Sarah Davenport is an award-winning journalist who spent decades as a news anchor for different NBC stations across the country. While working in television was her dream, She soon realized that the hours, the demands, and the changing dynamics of TV news wasn't for her anymore. Sarah did a 180-degree pivot and designed a life that she loves as a career coach, on-camera expert, and entrepreneur.
Well, thank you, Jackie. You are so sweet. And you guys, for all of you who are listening who might be new to this whole community, this community is basically what I'm talking about in my training tonight, because living an all-out life, you need people who are going to build you up along the way. So we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to show you as part of this whole living an all-out life. So here's my question to you. Are you on a hamster wheel of life? What does that mean? Well, you know what that looks like, where you dread Monday mornings, you're working for the weekend, right? It's Friday, and then Sunday hits, and you get a pit in your stomach all over again, right? Because Monday's right around the corner. It's that same week over and over. It's a hamster wheel, right? So if you feel like I'm talking to you, don't worry. I've got some good tips for you today. And also, it's how most Americans feel. It's how most people live their life. And my goal is at the end of this quick little 10-minute training, you're going to have the steps to maybe get off that hamster wheel, to start figuring out there is life beyond that, to live an all-out life, right? Gone are the days where you have to work 40 hours a week for 40 years for that good old $40 watch, right? That's called the status quo. And you guys, my friends, that is how to live a very uneventful and oftentimes very unfulfilling life. So I want to say, if you're thinking, I'm made for more, I know there's more out there. I want to do more and be more and have more so I can bless more and give more and be more. Well, that comes from designing a life you love, right? Where you are excited Monday mornings, living a life where you're just lit up. So here are 3 keys to do that, to help you live an all-out life. So number 1, and by the way, I'm very type A, like I like numbers. So I will tell you when I go from number to number, if you're a note taker. Number 1 is the first key. You want to have a clear life vision, knowing who you are and what do you want out of life. And I'm not just talking about, okay, I want to pay off my bills. I want to not be stressed. I want to make it through the day without killing my kids, right? Those are like wishes, right? I'm talking about vision. I'm talking about life vision. And to create a vision like that, it starts with dreaming again. So when's the last time you dreamed? I mean, really dreamed, like dusted off the dreams on the top shelf, pulled them down and started dreaming again. Because for me as a television anchor, that was my dream. And I made it to a big market, Houston, Texas. I anchored the morning show there in front of 4 million people every day, right? So my dreams came true, but I was still on that hamster wheel. I still had to wake up at 3 a.m. and go to work and working for the weekend, start again on Monday. Couldn't take these vacations where I could tell my kids to go hike a mountain. They really would, right? I wanted to live a life by design. I had gotten comfortable. Yes, I had hit my dreams, my goals, but it wasn't my life vision. So if you are stuck in a comfort zone, I've got to tell you, it's a lot more like a mediocre zone. You're probably not stretching yourself. So I realized I wasn't growing. I had put a lid on my potential without even realizing what I was doing. So if you say right now, if you've been saying these things to your head, we got to talk. If you're saying, gosh, the summer is going really fast. Like, where's the year gone? Like 2023 is halfway over. If you are saying those things, or if that resonates with you, you aren't living an intentional life right now. You are not living in the present. I might have just stepped on your toes a little bit. Sorry, but it means you're not living all out, right? This summer, we've taken 7 weeks of vacation. We're on week 3 in the Adirondacks right now. We fly home Saturday night. My kids go to school Monday morning. We literally have, I think, 29 hours before they go to school. But that's living all out. That's designing a life that we are eking out every last bit of summer. But to get to this point, we had to get uncomfortable, my husband and I. We had to uncover who we were outside of our jobs, outside of the labels. We had to dream again. And that's why when I work with my coaching clients, and a lot of them are in TV, a lot are not in TV, but they just want to design a life they love. We start with what I call the life vision workbook. They're questions that you go through to ask yourself, like, what really lights me up? What would life look like if I dreamed again? What would your life look like if you truly designed a life you love? So once you have your life vision figured out, the second key, number 2, all right, is to have a good look at your inner circle. Are you surrounding yourself with growth-minded people, or are you surrounding yourself with people who are just keeping you small? Sometimes those naysayers out there, they don't want you to succeed. And those naysayers could be your friends. They could be your family members, right? They could be your closest coworkers. They're often the ones who hold you back because they're in their comfort zone. They don't want to break out of that, right? And they see you taking steps to do big things and they try to pull you back. So I want you to elevate your circle. Surround yourself by people who think big, who want more, who want to grow, who are the dreamers, but also the doers. Where do you find those people? Well, you find them in groups like this, right? In Melissa's Burnout to All Out community. I'm in an amazing mastermind with her. That's where I found some fantastic people. You can find them on, you can go on the internet, look for different groups that are meeting, meetups, different organizations. Find people who are doing big things and just get in the room. See what you think. Because if you can find people who are going to stretch you, make you go bigger, that's when you start designing that life you love. Okay, the final key to living an all-out life, are you ready? Stay open to new things. Keep your options open, right? So for me, I thought I'd be a TV anchor forever, but I knew I wanted to design a life I loved, where I could have 12 weeks of vacation a year, where I could still make a six-figure income, where I could show my kids the world, not just Houston, Texas, literally take them throughout the world so they can see how blessed they are to be growing up in America. I wanted to do big things, but I couldn't do it behind the TV anchor desk. I couldn't do it chasing hurricanes instead of chasing my kids. So I thought about getting into freelancing. I love true crime shows. And so I kept my options open. I learned how to network. And you guys, if you aren't connected with Melissa, she'll show you how to network on LinkedIn. Learn how to network, right? And I did. And I was able to get into freelancing. And I do true crime shows on 6 different networks right now. It's no longer a pipe dream. I was able to follow my dream. But I wanted different plans, plan A, plan B, plan C, keeping my options open. I even looked at social selling. You're going to hear a lot of people today talk about social selling. A fellow TV anchor of mine got into the social selling industry, and I thought she lost her mind. I thought she was nuts. But she partnered with a company that had products that she aligned with, that she believed in. They were plant-based nutrition products and health and wellness products. And I saw her replace her TV income, and her plan B became her plan A. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep my options open. I'm going to look into this whole social selling thing. And you guys, that's what I did. So with freelancing and true crime shows and with my social selling business, I was able to design a life I love. But it started back with having that life vision of knowing what I wanted. And then it took me next to really changing my circle, surrounding myself with growth-oriented people, and then keeping that open mind. Because you guys, big deal. What if you try something new and it doesn't work? Okay, it doesn't work. You didn't die. You didn't lose a limb. Move on, right? Keep your options open and try new things. And so the bottom line to me, it's this. If you dread Sunday nights, if you are on that hamster wheel of life and you find yourself daydreaming of like, what else could I do outside of this job that I kind of like, or maybe I don't like at all. If you dream about what your life would have been like if you had won that lottery last night, right? How about actually making steps to make that happen? Make it a reality. I am a big proponent of plan Bs and plan Cs. I'm a big proponent of multiple streams of income. Do this for yourself.
Okay, gang, we need to take a quick hydration break. So grab your drink of choice. And as you rehydrate, I'll give you the lowdown on my free LinkedIn lead gen masterclass. If you feel like you're screaming into the void when you post content on Facebook or Instagram, struggling to find a sustainable and scalable lead generation process that sticks, and you just want someone who's been there and done that to reveal their secrets, then it's critical that you register to save your spot ASAP. During this live masterclass, you'll get to steal the exact strategy I used to scale my income from $0 to $1 million in just 19 months without spending a fortune on ads or suffering from burnout. Simply check out the show notes of the podcast episode for the link to register for your free spot in the LinkedIn Lead Gen Masterclass. And don't worry, Even if you miss a couple of days or you can't make it to all the training sessions, we'll deliver the replays directly into your inbox daily so you can watch them on your own time. All you have to do is make sure you sign up for the masterclass before registration ends. Are you guys loving this? Like, share with me in the chat, because we're going to transition to our next topic. What I see and what I feel is a ripple effect of inspiration to these other listeners. You know, we've got 77, 78 people sitting here streaming live, aspiring or current entrepreneurs. And I hope that some of you maybe are in the beginning of your journey and you're hearing these stories. And I hope it's just inspiring the hell out of you of what's possible, while also just gaining some insights and value from this summit. And we have another Burnout to All Out leader to introduce you to, Lisa Unruh. If you guys do not know Lisa, she is our programs director. If you're inside any of our programs, you know Lisa because you are so well taken care of. She supports all of our programs, supports from a customer service standpoint, all of our clients, and she takes care of all the babies, right? She just takes care of everybody so well. So Lisa, I am going to turn it over to you as our MC for lifestyle optimization.
Well, thank you so much, Melissa. And if we've met before on one of the calls, you know how much I love what I do and I love the people that I get to do it with. So you're all a part of that here today. And I just love being here. I'm already inspired. So Judy Tierney is an Austin-based real estate investor, agent, and coach with a passion for helping clients generate wealth and transform their wildest dreams into reality through real estate investing. Since purchasing her first property at age 25, Judy's investments have provided her with a secondary income stream that has enabled her to travel to almost 50 states and 7 continents. Today, Judy is on a mission to empower others to achieve similar success by showing them how to quickly and easily navigate the real estate landscape with confidence. So we're so glad to have you here, Judy.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Hello, everyone. I'm so honored to be here, and I wanted to just give a shout out to all of the other authors and say thank you to Melissa and her team for making this all happen. So excited that we now have a best-selling book, and the summit is just amazing. So thank you all so much for being here. Today, I want to share with you all a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. And it's about how I used my corporate wisdom to create unforgettable travel experiences. I know it can be difficult for all of us. We've all got careers and families and commitments and all of the other things. But from being in the corporate world and a real estate entrepreneur for 35 years and traveling all along the way, I hope that I can share some tips and tricks and lessons that I've learned to help you all achieve some of these same memorable moments. Now, the first lesson that I've learned is a vacation is not your job. So I want to tell y'all a little story about when I was 30 years old. I thought I was on the top of the world. I was living in New York City. I had a great, awesome job with one of the top advertising agencies. I had just spent 2 months working on the Olympics in Atlanta for AT&T and Lucent Technologies, and I was on top of the world. I worked all the time, but I'm going to tell you, I had a lot of fun along the way. And then one day I got this crazy idea that I would take an entire year off and travel around the world. I thought I was at the height of my career, and there's no better time to do it than now. So I called my great friend Christine, told her what I was scheming up, and she immediately said she wanted to join me. So the two, corporate gals, we spent time in Barnes and Noble mapping out our plan. And a couple months later, we boarded a flight for London, spent 2 days there, and then we were on our way to Africa for 5 months. We were armed with probably a dozen Lonely Planet travel guides, as well as all of our notes and schedules and spreadsheets of everything that we planned to do along the way. So, of course, we had a checklist of all of the sites we wanted to see, all of the countries we wanted to visit, etc. But when we got to Africa, we learned very, very quickly that in developing countries, no one is in a rush. Local buses don't run on time, and oftentimes businesses aren't open when they say they're going to be and when they're supposed to be. So we had to do a total reset and just get on local time, as they say. And it was only then that we really realized and really came to appreciate where we were. That experience opened us up to actually meeting the locals and having conversations and getting invited into their homes for tea. And so it was then that we really started appreciating our surroundings. And I want to read a passage from my chapter about this trip and my recollection. I said, in my job, I worked on developing leadership skills, mastering time management, maximizing the benefits of corporate expense accounts. Through my travels, I discovered the freedom of relinquishing control, the art of slowing down, and the joy of a simple meal at a roadside stall washed down with a 25-cent local beer. So I recently read a book called Die with Zero, and the author talks about how the memories that we make today are going to be the experiences that we are reliving over and over when we're older and don't have the opportunity and aren't able to do all of the things that we can do now. So I would encourage you that when you're taking your next vacation, whether it's just a few days off to be with family or whether you're going to some exotic destination, be open to letting things occur naturally and embrace the unexpected. I think by taking this one simple step, you'll open yourself up to some truly magical memories that can last a lifetime. My next lesson is making yourself your number one priority. Now, I learned this lesson a little bit of the hard way. When I came back from that trip, I jumped right back into work. I got a job that was very similar to the one that I was in before. This time I was in San Francisco instead of New York. My first week on the job, I was working for an agency that managed sports sponsorships. My client's company was a sponsor of the NFL. So on my first week in the job, I was flying to Miami to attend the Super Bowl. And in subsequent months, I also went to the Daytona 500 and the Kentucky Derby and the other Triple Crown horse races. But as soon as I got off that plane in Miami and spent time with these two gentlemen, I knew I was in the wrong place. Yet I stayed in that role for 4 years. I was working with a boss who was, all the way across the country, unsupportive, and a client who was very toxic. And I know many of you have experienced very similar situations in your own journeys, but I found it easy nonetheless to jump back into my old habits, dive into work. And in 4 years, I got the news that the company was closing and that I and the rest of the staff were being laid off. So I realized at that moment that I was never going to let any company or any other human being control my destiny. So I traded in a full-time job for freelance projects. And one of the very, very first things I did when I left that job is I planned a trip with my niece who was graduating from law school. And we took 3 weeks and we went to Burma and Cambodia and Thailand. And I still attribute that trip today to the close relationship that I have with her, as well as her two children. And in fact, have moved to Portugal, and I'm going to see them for 3 weeks in October. The next year, I also went to a Super Bowl party at a friend's house. And I had so much fun being at an event, hanging around my friends and talking and being with normal people than I ever had at the, going to any of these actual events with people that I didn't want to be with. So I would encourage you again to make yourself the number one priority. And I know we've heard that theme reiterated over and over from our speakers today, but not everyone can take exotic vacations all of the time. So even if it's taking a few hours on an afternoon to really experience and be present and enjoy the things and the people around you, it's so important and critical that we take the time to do that. Lesson number 3, work less, experience more. Now, some of you may be familiar with a nurse. Her name is Bronnie Ware. And Bronnie is an Australian nurse. The themes that kept recurring and coming up over and over was, I wish I had worked less or worked not so hard. So I know work is essential for all of us, or probably for most of us in the summit here today. But the point I want to make is that now is also the time to be creating experiences. And I have a few tips on how to do that. So number one, make a list of everything on your bucket list, everything that you want to do for the rest of your life that you know about today. And take a look at your expected life expectancy and kind of try to map those things out where you think you want to do them. And so, of course, if your goal is to climb Mount Everest, you may not want to wait until your 70s to do that. You may want to put that in your 20s or 30s when you're healthy. Similarly, if you want to go on a luxury cruise and just sit on a boat all day, maybe the 70s is the best time to do that. But revisit that list year after year and try to check off and accomplish all of those things. Don't wait until you retire because you never know. You may not be able to do those things then. Second tip is practice saying yes. I've been in the situation many, many times where I'm invited to an event that's really important to a family member or a friend, and I'm just too tired or I'm too busy. So I'm not saying to say yes to everything, but look at those things that are, consider how you're going to feel the next day, the next week, later on, if you say no. Because I think some of those things, just those little events, things that you do every day with the people you love are going to be the memories that are most important to you later on in life. And then the third tip that I have for you is to pursue something you're passionate about, whether that's taking an art class, doing meditation, or perhaps pursuing a second hobby or a second career. Make sure that you're always focusing on doing something that you feel strongly about. Now, for me, that was real estate. I've been investing in real estate since I was 25 years old, so for a very long time. And when I finally realized it was time for me to leave the corporate world for good, I was able to jump and pivot right into that career. And now I'm doing what I love and helping aspiring investors and helping them navigate their path to their first investments. So that's super exciting to me. So I would encourage you all to kind of pursue a second hobby or just something that you're crazy about. Now, I want to leave you with a final thought. So 46% of American workers do not use all of their paid vacation time. And on average in 2021, the number of unused vacation days was 9.5. And if you think about that, over a 30-year career, that's about 9.5 months of vacation time that goes unused. What could you do with that time if you were out there creating awesome, incredible experiences with the people that you loved? So I challenge each of you today to make a plan to rethink how you approach your time off and what you want to do to create those memorable experiences. Also, to put yourself first and work less and experience more.
Thank you so much, Judy. Who else wants to get into Judy's suitcase and go with her on these adventures? Me, Melissa, you're going to have a full suitcase, Judy. Thank you so much for sharing with us, for just being here today and part of our community. We're better because of you. So thank you so much.
All right. Before we move on to CEO family management, none of these stories with these authors would have come together the way they have if it wasn't for Miss Danielle. She has been the storytelling mentor for this book. Not only has she facilitated the production of this book, literally from beginning to end, she has been the point of contact for everything from the written portions of the book to the graphics on the book, the cover, everything. But she worked intimately with storytelling with each individual mastermind member. And really, this has been as much her project as it has been anyone. Actually, she's really owned this project. She has helped birth this project and bring it to life. And she's so incredibly talented at bringing out incredible stories with our clients in the mastermind. And Danielle, the work that you've done, can we just pause for a minute as a group and just acknowledge Danielle, and that, we would not be bestsellers today if it wasn't for your Herculean effort in supporting us through this whole process. Obviously, the authors had to write their stories, which came together beautifully because of your mentorship. But what people don't see that I see is the back end of the production of getting this book out and orchestrating all the stakeholders involved to bring a book to life. And I just want you to know how seen you are and how grateful we are that you have really helped birth 20 new best-selling authors. And this is because, in part, your impact, your heart, your soul to this project. So thank you, Danielle. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Oh my gosh. I am so honored and excited. This has been honestly the best project I've worked on thus far in my entire life. I'm so honored to be here and excited to be celebrating these incredible authors with you all today. I have had the absolute privilege of working with each one of them, both in a group setting and individually over the last nearly 8 months. Can you guys believe it? It's been almost 8 months that they've been working on this. As they've walked through that process of sharing their all-out life stories and getting it into writing, it's been quite a process, but we've tried to make it as fun as possible. I am a life story coach, and my primary goal is always to make people feel seen, heard, and valued in the process of sharing their stories. And I could not have asked for a more incredible group of people to take through this process. So, with all of that, congratulations. Let's walk into this next section of today's Book Launch and Summit. We are going to be talking about CEO family management. And next up is Danielle. Danielle April Gotha is a pioneering entrepreneur, best known for creating financial independence and self-sustainability while working from home. She began her career as an RN, transitioned into the world of personal training, and then corporate wellness. She's not just a business-minded individual, though. Danielle is a fervent believer in women having their own financial independence for the unexpected times and the freedom to choose their path. So Danielle and I also had a special moment in Arizona where we just took a deep dive into her specific all-out story to uncover what she felt called to share about during this season of her life. She took that conversation, and what she ended up putting into writing is so powerful. I'm not going to spoil her chapter, but I can tell you that if you've ever been in a place where you are just fighting to get through the trials in front of you, you need to go read her chapter, and I promise you're going to be inspired. So without further ado, Danielle, I'm handing it over to you.
I feel really blessed to be grouped in this CEO healthy family lifestyle. Really excited about the book and hearing everyone's stories again. It has been such a unique process. And when we all met in February, each of us said, it's not always common to just connect and vibe with people. And out of a group so large, we all just had this energy flow that has come into this book, and it's been amazing. So today I'm going to be talking about tips to simplify your life for a thriving business and healthy family. My focus today is really on the then and now, because my life looks so different now. My entrepreneurial path has changed and evolved. In 2010, I was newly married, and I was transitioning from the RN world to personal training. I was a prenatal fitness specialist, and I had over 100 client lists in just a year. I was making waves in my zone of genius in a place that I absolutely loved, which was San Diego, California. My dream life was happening to a T until it wasn't. My husband had dreams as well, and I adapted to his military lifestyle and where the military was taking us. That was really hard for me. And until I found network marketing as a mom, and especially a new mom, my life really transitioned. So then I had one child. I had a deployed spouse. He left when our daughter was 5 weeks old. I had a struggling marriage before entrepreneurship existed. I had a struggling self-identity. I knew who I was and wanted to be before motherhood. And with motherhood, I really felt lost. And it was probably the first time in a long time that I had felt lost. I absolutely loved the hustle. Right now, so many people are talking about the negative effects of the hustle lifestyle, and I loved everything about it. My personality is a lot of fun and energy and constant change and stuff kind of is a characteristic of that, because if I'm not enjoying something, I'll pivot. And the hustle mentality almost gives you no time to think about that kind of stuff. But with the hustle, it helped me to hide. I was able to hide behind the struggling marriage, right? I was able to ignore things that weren't in their prime. During that time, the things that I did as a beginner businesswoman during deployment and as a solo mom was time blocking. This was huge. Moms that I've worked with have said that the 15-minute time block scared them. They were like, why would I want to do that? But then once they did it, it simplified their day and their schedule. Because when we get distracted, it takes us so much time to get back on track. Having that time block schedule allows you to simply look at your schedule, see exactly where you're supposed to be, and get back on track without having to think, without having to get frustrated. So I highly encourage it and recommend it, especially for those of you who have multiple things in your life that you're juggling. The second tip is open communication. This is huge when it comes to entrepreneurship and having a healthy family lifestyle. Everyone in your family should be involved in this conversation. Your spouse, your close relatives, if they are highly interactive with your family, we don't live near family, children, even your close friends, if it's something that's important to you. Be sure that you're all in the loop. Everyone may not be in agreement, but it's important that they know why you're working, when you're working, your time commitment daily, and how they can be supportive through it all. The third tip is going to be to leave the house mess. It doesn't need to be cleaned every single day. I learned this early on. It was much easier with a spouse deployed because there definitely was no one complaining about the mess. But my husband grew up with knickknacks and stuff everywhere. So he really does not complain about a messy house. He knows and understands this life well, but you want to create a cleaning schedule. For those of you who want to know when you're going to be doing the home tasks, it's on your schedule. You know when it's going to get done, so you can ignore it short term. It's not going to be ignored forever, but it allows you to focus on your business when you need a no distraction time frame. The fourth tip is delegate and hire out. This is super important. You want to do this sooner than you might think you can afford it. I will share that when I had a personal assistant, my business grew exponentially. So I might not have felt that I could afford it, or it might have been tighter with the budget when I started, but it quickly paid for itself. So look at the things that you can take off of your list, whether it's a laundry service or someone to come and clean your house for you. But with that time, you need the discipline so that you're specifically working, you're replacing that time that you're not cleaning, organizing, doing different things for your business time. How is it different then versus now? Now, I have 3 kids. I have a husband who is home daily. He was able to quit his job last April. We completely uprooted our life, sold everything, donated half of our belongings in Virginia Beach, and we moved to the mountains of Tennessee. Lived in a camper for 6 months with 3 children. Honestly, I enjoyed cleaning only 400 square feet. So it was kind of a nice little shift, but it was what we had dreamed up together. And it was something that my husband couldn't have done or didn't want to do even 3 to 5 years ago. So life dreams and things like that can change as the world around you changes, right? Things can shift and happen. I have a thriving marriage with the same husband that I had a struggling marriage with. We did separate for quite some time. And that is, I do share that in my story. So I hope that you guys do read that. Let go of my past life. It took me a long time, but struggling with the identity of becoming a mother because I saw so much in myself. And while I still see so much and I know what I'm capable of, I also know that I'm in a different time in life and there are certain things that can wait, but my children are not one of those things. I prioritize my family significantly. I still love the hustle, but I can't do it the same way that I did in the past. There are a lot more variables. I don't want to do it the same way I did in the past. And I am present every single day. That is absolutely huge for me. I do want to share that you want to find your people. When you're doing this life and you're trying to balance it with your family, I often have had a lot of people, especially when I reached a 6-figure income. You know, in the world of network marketing, in the world of entrepreneurship, no success is guaranteed. Income is not guaranteed. There are so many variables that go into it. But when I hit that level of income, I had so many people telling me, you need to hire a babysitter. You need to, right? You need to do this. You need to do that. And for me, I really had to do that internal work. I really had to be true to myself, be brave and unapologetic. Trust yourself against all odds. Our messages all tie in together. And I truly feel that this past year, almost year, with these amazing women has given me permission to honor that things look a little different right now, and that's okay. I just became a best-selling author in a year that so many changes have happened, in a year that so much was unpredictable, and that there were so many unknowns and variables. I just did something that was on my bucket list that wouldn't have happened had I not connected. It may have happened down the road, but it wouldn't have happened in this way with these amazing women. I really hope that these tips were helpful for you and that you'll be able to implement them or share them with a fellow female network marketer or business entrepreneur in your life.
Awesome. Awesome, Danielle. Thank you so much. And I have to say, like, you know, again, this is the Elevate 360. This is the 360 degree approach to business, right? All things life and business. And I love my coaching calls with you when you're like in the camper or like in the garage with the project going on, homesteading with the kids in the background. Like, I love it, right? Like, I love that everyone's definition of like their dream life and being empowered and living all out is definitively like up to you what that looks like. Right. And I just love it. So thank you so much for sharing. And again, you guys, I hope you're excited about reading these chapters. So cool. So first of all, just again, huge round of applause to our authors who've come in today and taken time to really share their heart and soul with you, bring value to you today. And a huge congratulations to all of our authors for becoming best-selling authors. I just am filled with just joy and gratitude that you trusted the Burnout to All Out leadership team. I heard a lot of accolades for me, but it's really not me. It's really the team that surrounds you. All these amazing humans that emceed today and help lead. It takes a village to lift something like this up and off. And I just commend each and every one of you for the time, the energy, the heart and soul that you put into each of these individual chapters that is now a legacy that's out there for people to read indefinitely, to bring value to them, to inspire them. They can come back to the stories over and over again. Thank you so much to the team Burnout to All Out for helping MC and facilitate today. And also to all our guests who are here to support our authors and their debut of the book today and the summit today. If you loved hearing from the authors, come see us in Nashville. Just a last reminder, October 6th and 7th, it's going to be an incredible event. Rate and review the book. If you do, whether you download it for free or you purchase the paperback, we really appreciate all your support with this. Go connect with all of our authors. Thank you again so much for your time. You guys have a wonderful week. Go out there and live all out. Thanks, guys, so much for listening in on today's podcast episode. And I can't wait for you to see my upcoming guest in the next episode. You are going to love this keynote speaker. Hey, here's the deal. If you liked this, please subscribe and leave a review. And you want the latest online business growth strategies and exclusive LinkedIn pro tips sent straight to your phone? Text the word update to 704-318-2285. That is, text the word update to 318-2285. Can't wait to see you guys. Come find me over on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you like to hang. I cannot wait to hear how you are enjoying and applying what you're learning. You guys reach out to me over on social because I love hearing what's resonating with you. When you reach out to me and you send me those personal DMs, they really do impact the content I continue to bring forward to you. So again, come find me, Melissa_Hinault over on Instagram, Melissa Hinault over on LinkedIn and Facebook. Can't wait to see you guys over there.